Every time you send a text, stream a movie, upload a photo, or ask an AI chatbot a question, something incredible happens behind the scenes. Within seconds, your data travels through thousands of miles of fiber optic cables before reaching a massive building filled with powerful computers. Most people call it the cloud, but the cloud isn't floating in the sky. It's a network of giant data centers spread across the world. These buildings quietly power almost everything we do online, yet most people have never seen one. From the outside, they often look like ordinary warehouses, but inside, they're packed with billions of dollars worth of technology running every second of every day. So, what exactly happens inside these buildings? Why are companies spending billions to build them? And how do data centers make so much money? Let's find out. The easiest way to think about a data center is as a giant digital warehouse. But instead of storing furniture, clothes, or food, it stores information. Every email you've ever sent, every online payment you've made, every Netflix show you've watched, every file you've uploaded to the cloud, and every website you visited relies on servers inside these buildings. A single data center can contain tens of thousands of servers working together around the clock. Each one has a different job. Some store your files, some process online transactions, while others help power artificial intelligence and cloud computing. Without these servers constantly running, much of the internet would simply stop working. Building a data center isn't as simple as buying land and filling it with computers. Choosing the right location is one of the biggest decisions a company has to make. Developers look for places with cheap land, reliable electricity, and fast fiber optic internet connections. Why? Because data centers consume enormous amounts of power, sometimes as much electricity as a small town. They also need constant cooling to stop thousands of servers from overheating. That's why you'll often find these facilities in areas with strong power grids and plenty of space for future expansion. Before a single customer stores data there, companies may have already invested hundreds of millions of dollars into construction, equipment, and infrastructure. So if building a data center costs hundreds of millions of dollars, why are companies so eager to invest? The answer is surprisingly simple. Almost every business today depends on one. Whether it's a small online store, a bank processing millions of transactions, or a global company like Netflix streaming movies to millions of viewers, they all need a secure place to store and process their data. Instead of building their own expensive facilities, many businesses rent space inside existing data centers. It's very similar to renting an office, except instead of desks and meeting rooms, customers rent server racks, computing power, and storage. The larger the customer, the more space and electricity they need. That's why a single data center can have hundreds of different clients, each paying monthly fees for reliable service. Those recurring payments create a steady stream of income, making data centers one of the most predictable infrastructure businesses in the world. Of course, running a data center isn't just about filling a building with servers and collecting rent. Keeping those servers online every second of every day is where the real challenge begins. Even a few minutes of downtime can cost businesses millions of dollars, which is why reliability is everything in this industry. Data centers are built with backup power systems, massive battery rooms, powerful cooling equipment, and giant diesel generators ready to start within seconds if the electrical grid fails. Some facilities even have multiple internet connections entering the building from different directions. So if one cable is accidentally damaged, another instantly takes over. Every system has a backup, and then another backup for that backup. It's expensive, but that's exactly what customers are paying for: speed, security, and the confidence that their data will always be available. And with the rapid growth of artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and online services, the demand for these digital factories is only getting bigger. By now, you might be wondering just how much money a data center can actually make. The answer depends on its size, location, and the type of customers it serves. Instead of selling products, data centers sell something much more valuable: space, power, and reliability. Customers pay monthly fees to rent server racks, use electricity, access high-speed internet connections, and store massive amounts of data. The larger the customer's operation, the more they pay. A small business might only rent a single server cabinet, while a global tech company could lease an entire building. Since these contracts often last for years, data center owners enjoy a steady and predictable stream of recurring revenue. That's one of the biggest reasons investors love this business. But earning billions in revenue doesn't mean keeping billions in profit. Running a data center is incredibly expensive. Electricity is usually the biggest operating cost because thousands of servers consume power every second of the day. Then there's cooling. Servers generate an enormous amount of heat, and if temperatures rise too much, expensive equipment can fail within minutes. That's why giant cooling systems work non-stop to keep everything at the perfect temperature. Add maintenance, security, internet infrastructure, skilled engineers, software upgrades, and equipment replacement, and the monthly operating costs quickly become enormous. Even so, companies continue expanding because demand for cloud computing and artificial intelligence is growing faster than ever before. Today, some of the biggest names in the world are investing heavily in data centers because they're the foundation of modern technology. Cloud services, online banking, streaming platforms, e-commerce, artificial intelligence, and even government systems all depend on these facilities operating without interruption. As more businesses move their operations online, the need for computing power continues to grow. That's why new data centers are being built across the United States and around the world at an incredible pace. Many experts believe demand will only increase over the next decade as AI applications become more powerful and billions of new devices connect to the internet. What once looked like a simple warehouse has quietly become one of the most valuable assets in the digital economy. As profitable as this business can be, it's far from risk-free. Building a new data center requires an enormous upfront investment, and there are no guarantees that every server rack will be rented immediately. Owners often spend years recovering their initial investment. Competition is also becoming more intense as new facilities are built to meet the growing demand for cloud services and artificial intelligence. At the same time, electricity prices continue to rise, making operating costs even higher. A single power outage, cooling failure, or cyber attack can damage a company's reputation and cost millions of dollars. That's why data center operators constantly invest in stronger security, better infrastructure, and more efficient technology. In this industry, staying ahead isn't optional, it's essential. It's easy to think of a data center as nothing more than a warehouse full of computers. But the reality is far more impressive. These facilities have become the backbone of our digital world. Every email you send, every online payment you make, every movie you stream, every photo you save, and every AI tool you use depends on them working flawlessly. As technology continues to evolve, the demand for computing power will only keep growing. That means data centers will remain one of the most important and valuable businesses on the planet. They may not attract attention like skyscrapers or sports stadiums, but without them, the modern internet simply couldn't exist. The next time you open an app or search the web, remember that somewhere, inside a quiet building filled with thousands of servers, your request is being processed in just a fraction of a second. That's the hidden business powering the digital age. And that's the hidden business behind the internet's most important buildings. If you enjoyed discovering how data centers quietly power the digital world, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more business and economics breakdowns. Every week, we explore the industries, companies, and billion-dollar businesses that shape our everyday lives. And now it's your turn. Which business should we explore next? Let us know in the comments below. Your idea could become our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.